After her debut boat show at the Cannes International Yachting Festival, this Balance 526 Pippilotta found a peaceful anchorage near the Royal Fort on the island of Sainte Marguerite to spend the night ahead of next day's sea trial. The next morning greeted us with beautiful calm conditions, a perfect time for a coffee on the bow before returning to Cannes to collect our guests. And then a thunderous downpour started just as we were about to collect our visitors. But we were expecting the breeze to pick up, knowing the squall would pass soon. And it did. That just passed us, but that's what's to come. Dean here from Balance Catamarans. I'm aboard Pippilotta 526 and we're still in Cannes. We just had a amazing rainstorm pass by. Darren and Amanda from Outer Passage, who are currently captaining this boat, have just gone to go and fetch some guests that have visited us at the Cannes International Yachting Festival.
We've been delaying because of weather and we can't wait to get out there and sail finally.
Let's get that main up and go moving.
We're gonna drop the dinghy and pick up our guests that are gonna go on a day sail.
With everyone aboard and introductions done, Darren took us through a safety briefing.
But in the event that if someone does find themselves off the boat when they shouldn't be, that person in the water, yell and scream as loud as you can. Anyone on board, if you see that person, yell and point in the direction of that person and don't lose contact with them.
And with that, we were ready to lift anchor and head into a day of constantly changing conditions. The wind, now at 15 to 16 knots of true wind, was predicted to potentially double, so we opted to hoist with the first reef in. Everyone gathered around the upper helm station to get a preview of how the mainsail is hoisted, all right there from the helm. In no time, the main was up, we bear down and unfurled the jib, and now the fun could begin. Over the next while, Darren and Amanda demonstrate Pippilotta's playful speed, alternating between a beam and a close reach up and down the bay. At 60 degrees apparent wind angle, we're comfortably cruising between 10 and 11 knots. At 30 degrees apparent, we're still holding our speed above 9 knots. This was the first of many pleasant surprises for our guests. The wind was occasionally picking up to 24 to 25 knots, so we were glad that the first reef was already in. Coming down from our beam reach, we dropped to 100 degrees apparent and maintained speeds around 9 knots, occasionally surfing waves around 12 knots. Soon it was time to give our guests a feeling for the helm and put the Balance Catamaran sightlines and incredible helm responsiveness of Pippilotta to the test.
Enjoying some kind of sporty med conditions right now. It's quite variable, but yeah, we've been upwind, reaching, downwind. I think we'll go up to another bay and look at some scenery as well.
With the wind conditions picking up, we thought it would be a fun idea to tack up the channel between the island and the mainland to the more sheltered Gulf Juan near Antibes. From there, we could change to the Cote Azure and push on a broad reach all the way home. The wind was up to 26 knots more consistently by this point, and with the narrow, shallow channel no less than half a mile wide, we gave our guests a true test of this ocean-crossing vessel. We raised the daggerboards and zigzagged close hauled up into a concentrated 2-meter swell. We were consistently sailing between 8 and 9 knots at 30 to 35 degrees off the apparent wind, steering comfortably now from the lower helm position. Now that's what we call a sea trial. Occasionally our guests would go down to the cabins to appreciate the rigidity and stiffness of our construction, which makes for a pleasant and quiet passage even when facing waves and wind head on. Something we're very proud of at Balance. It's a great pleasure to share these nuances with guests, something you never get to experience from the crowded docks of a boat show.
You're enjoying this?
Oh, this is way better than a day in the office. I think Pippi is enjoying this too. Upwind, pretty close without any dagger boards. So that's shallow. It's really shallow there in the pass, so we had to pull our boards up. But it's a lot of.
Yeah, this is the demonstration.
Yeah.
This is a supplier.
Right, we're gonna hand the helm off to Panda up here. So with the Versa helm, I can just raise it. There we go.
Fantastic.
As soon as the channel opened up into the bay, the waves disappeared, the wind softened, and we gently cruised on sail amongst the boats that came here to find shelter. It was a slightly surreal experience. We took this opportunity to find anchor and have a bite to eat before we make our downwind passage back through the channel.
We've parked off at Antibes, just in the corner here, wind protected, swell protected. I'm gonna have a little bit of a snack and a drink.
After seeing Pippi in such a variety of conditions, Darren and Amanda engaged in some Q&A.
Excellent.
Is Darren try to sign his name on the water?
Yes. We have done some fun things.
It was as if we had arrived in a different day entirely. This would be ideal for a light wind downward run back to Cannes.
Setting up for the downwind home.
So we raised the anchor and readied the Cote Azure.
I don't feel like it's gonna come back with a vengeance.
The wind was dying down for the evening, so we also shook out the reef.
Got a full sail.
Yeah.
Getting there.
You good?
Go. Code Zero! Our favorite sail on board. She's a real beaut.
And so, gently we cruised downwind, the calm splashing of the waves. Everyone found their quiet corner to ponder on the plentiful experiences of the day so far. And then, as sudden as the rain arrived on our sunny morning, the wind decided to change, a full 180 degrees. Our plan to have a calm, reflective downwind journey back home was no more. We had to swap back to the self-tacking jib and tack our way, zigzagging back the same way we had come. Only this time, we were going with the waves, upwind with following seas. This was a unique demo sail day for sure.
Thank you guys so much for for being such a trooper with today's very, as we thought in the beginning, it's gonna be really variable and quite interesting conditions. But you truly got to see what the boat does in a lot of different scenarios. So
very well.
and funny is we got to go upwind both ways. So just hang out, relax a bit. He's going to fly his drone. We're going to have some discussions. We can talk about the passage.
Yes.
And then we'll debark in 20 or 30 minutes, if that's okay with everyone. So.
After the last questions were quelled and we had our farewells, Pippi returned to a restful state where she was the night before, almost as if nothing had ever happened.
Oh, that was so much fun today.
We'd like to thank our guests and journalists for attending the sea trial. The links to the articles written by them, seeing the day from their perspective, are available in the description of the video. If you would like to attend a sea trial on a Balance Catamaran, please ensure you book a slot ahead of the next upcoming boat show. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. Stay subscribed for more videos from our time in France aboard Pippilotta with Darren and Amanda from Outer Passage. See you soon. Stay in balance.